once again for This Week in East Brunswick, your video magazine of events in and around town. Monday, the East Brunswick school system was proud to graduate 650 students from the high school, and today we have highlights of the ceremony at J. Doyle Memorial Field. The Senior Center celebrated its 5th anniversary, and Channel 8 was there. Also today, we have coverage of Monday's Township Council meeting, where council members voted to televise their summer proceedings. We'll take a peek at the fabulous Grease Band, the first installment of the Recreation Department's summer concert series. All this and more tonight on This Week in East Brunswick. But first, here's a look at what's happening next week on Channel 8. Monday at 10 a.m., watch Look Great, Feel Great with Lenore Kulick. At 10:30, we bring you stories from the library. Wednesday night at 7:30, Spotlight on Education is an introduction to the new Superintendent of Schools, Dr. John Kopko. On 18 at 8 p.m., Stuart Davis explores the world of the young heavy metal audience. This Week in East Brunswick returns Thursday at 7 and 8. At 7:30, Ken Shalhoub discusses nutritional support and chronic lung disease with Dr. Michael Rothkopf on Let's Talk Health. Check the Channel 8 program guide for schedule changes and repeats. The library will be closed on Tuesday, July 4th. East Brunswick High School's 28th annual commencement exercises were held Monday evening on J. Doyle Memorial Field. The official tally was 668 graduating seniors, who covered the field while more than 3,000 friends and relatives packed the stands on that sweltering summer evening. After the playing of the alma mater by the high school band and chorus, Reverend Richard Smith of Trinity Presbyterian Church gave the invocation. Reverend Smith was followed by Student Council President Marcy Wolkowski.
Altruism and generosity are both alive and well in this class. Here at EBHS, the efforts of Youth Ending Hunger and the Key Club and the Humanities Food Drives all reflect charitable works. We are not necessarily representative of the me generation, and if we are the future, that future is not so bleak. That future is promising. Charity is an expression of love, and we not only love our neighbors, our families, and each other, but we also love our enemies because we know that's what really gets them. And as for faith, it is said, if at first you don't succeed, you're about like everybody else. But this class has shown tremendous faith. Look at all the people who knew they'd make it to this day, despite their 12 absences in health. And take all of us who waited on the picture line at the prom without actually knowing if there was a photographer on the other end. But most of all, our fine administration and Board of Education also showed tremendous faith as they extended our out to lunch policy for yet another year. Now that's faith. And we didn't let them down either, true testament to our greatness. Last but not least, there's hope. Hope is what gave us the strength to go to our mailboxes as college and potential employers began sending their replies. Or at least it's what gave our moms the strength to go as we hid under the kitchen table. And it is hope that brought us here today and that will keep us on track toward the individual goals we have each set. Now, all of these basic attributes of life are, of course, not original with me. There are several people who have addressed them in different ways. But one man in particular, Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, not necessarily a household name, but still a heck of a guy, said it best. Here are his words. There are 9 requisites of contented living. Health enough to make work a pleasure, wealth enough to support your needs, strength to battle with difficulties and overcome them, grace enough to confess your sins and forsake them, patience enough to toil until some good is done, charity enough to see some good in your neighbor, love enough to move you to be useful and helpful to others, faith enough to make real the things of God, and hope enough to remove all anxious fears concerning the future. So, we are moving on. Remember though, the class of 1990 only succeeds us because we will never be replaced. Now, I expect to see each and every one of you at the reunion, and I wish you all the very best in whatever you see. Thank you.
The class of 1989 is clearly the best of the 80s. At first, this may appear to be a rather bold claim, but let us look just briefly at a couple of facts, most of which Marcy has already mentioned. National Writing Awards, national merit scholars, all regional and all state orchestra members, musicians, all-American athletes, fourth in the United States in the bicentennial competition, and members of this distinguished class of 1989 have been accepted and will attend the most prestigious universities in the United States. Truly, each and every member of the class is important, whether or not you be amongst the academically elite or those of you who I had several occasions to meet throughout the year, and those of you who might have just made it. You are to be congratulated and honored today. The class of 1989 has distinguished itself as one of the best, if not the best ever in the history of East Brunswick. And I salute you.
Well, I'm truly delighted to be here with you this evening on this exciting occasion, and I certainly want to congratulate the class of 1989, your parents and their guests. There are more than 600 graduates here this evening, and each one of you is very unique. During your years in the school system, you and your teachers have worked extremely hard to meet the challenges of the future. And I certainly would be remiss if I didn't wish you much success. But you alone are the ones that can determine how successful you're going to be. You know, we all dream of great deeds, high positions, yet when you really come down to it and you really think of it, success doesn't necessarily mean occupying a lofty place. Dream and aspire by all means, for it is only through those dreams and aspirations that you'll continue to grow and continue to become worthwhile citizens, and citizens that will leave this world a better place just by having been here. I encourage you to do your best. I often wonder what sometimes brings one person success and brings other individuals mediocrity or failure. Differences in intelligence, that alone can't account for such disparities in performance. I've come to the conclusion that people succeed because they cheerfully and enthusiastically pay the price. Hard work, perseverance, ambition, and yes, even sometimes some pain. And I hope that you're up to making the sacrifices that are required for success. You as a class, the class of 1989, have already demonstrated that you're capable of greatness. During your years here at East Brunswick High School, members of this class have earned state and national recognition because of the excellent work that you've done in academics, the athletics, and the arts. About 90% of you will be going on to further education, and some with scholarships. Whatever you plan to do, wherever you plan to go, I extend to you my sincere congratulations and my best wishes for a bright and shining future. I also want to congratulate your parents for the love, support, and guidance they have given for so many years. I'm sure the happiness that they feel this evening is tinged with a bit of sadness about the swift passage of time and how quickly you have grown. They deserve your utmost gratitude and appreciation for all they have done. I also want to compliment the Board of Ed, the administration, the faculty, and the staff for providing the educational program here in East Brunswick. They've also helped you to reach this milestone. And let me just leave you with one brief thought. Who said that dreams are free? Not me. No, not me. For we all know full well that there are places where the dream dies cold, where hope is put on hold and fantasies are edged in fear. Yet, even though we walk a world where dreams may not always come true, we know that we are rich, for at least we walk a world where we are free, free to dream. Class of 1989, congratulations and good luck.
everyone, I'm Karen Burke, manager of the Division of Recreation for East Brunswick Township. And next to me is Dolly. What are you doing?
I'm auditioning.
Wait, excuse her, folks. Wait a minute. Would you tell everybody who you are?
Yes, I'm Dolly Bast, Arts Coordinator for the East Brunswick Arts Commission.
And what were you auditioning for?
I'm auditioning. I'm getting ready to audition for the Tomov dance troupe.
Well, you know, they're very special. They're one of the
They
best
certainly
in the country,
That's
correct?
right. They're one of the finest ethnic groups in the country, and they're going to be here at the basketball court at the East Brunswick Community Beach on July 9th.
Sunday.
That's right, Sunday, July 9th at 7 o'clock p.m.
And at 6:30.
Yeah, 6:30, we've got our favorite mime, Janet Berkowitz, who's going to be down here to work with the youngsters. And do you know what's going to happen if it rains? I'm going to get hysterical.
No, we're
I'm
going to
not
do it
get
on
hysterical.
Monday.
Right.
But folks, listen up. It won't be at 7 because those people that work need extra time to get home. We're going to have it at 7:30.
7:30,
So if
that's
it
right.
rains on the 9th, it'll be at 7 on the 9th and 7:30 on the 10th in case it rains. But please, you know, work on it.
Right.
Talking about working on it, you better practice some more because she's just not going to cut it,
I
folks.
can't wait. I can't wait till
I know,
they come
me
down.
either.
I'm
I
going to
can
be a
see that.
star.
Do you see what I have to put up with, folks? See you at the beach.
You're so lucky.
Come on down and have a good time.
You really are.
I know.
Oh,
Hi, my name is Ben Sussan, and I'd like to tell you about an award-winning book by Anne McCaffrey called Dragonflight. This story is non-stop adventure, and after 10 turns, Fax is killed, and by a dragon man no less. 16-year-old Leslie becomes a rider of a great queen dragon. Even the large clutches of the queen are not enough to defend Pern against its ancient foe, the dreaded Threads. Leslie attempts a near-suicide mission to gain help from people that vanished from Pern over 400 turns ago. This book was thrilling and full of suspense. I couldn't stop thinking about it. Anne McCaffrey got the reader involved in very realistic characters. Pern is a well-thought-out world, and so is the predicament it is in. This book provokes some powerful emotions, and you can't put the book down until the last page is read. Anne McCaffrey also wrote Dragon Quest and the White Dragon. These books can be found separately or in one volume called The Dragon Rise of Pern in the young adult section of the public library.
Backed by popular demand in the Recreation Department's summer concert series, the fabulous Grease Band packed the high school auditorium Friday night with the young and the old who had come to hear their rousing renditions of 50s and early 60s favorites. Originally scheduled at the East Brunswick Community Beach, the concert was moved to the high school due to inclement weather. However, the rain failed to put the damper on anyone's spirits. The fabulous Grease Band, in their chinos and bowling shirts, had the crowd singing and dancing in the aisles to old hits like The Wanderer, Rock Around the Clock, Silhouettes on the Shade, and At the Hop.
The Township Council has decided to televise its summer sessions on Channel 8, with viewers' responses to be solicited and analyzed for future reference. It won't be the first time the Council has experimented with live coverage. Last summer, several meetings were moved to the library's meeting rooms for presentation on Channel 8. Only 13 people wrote or called last year. That's why Councilman William Kirk voted against the proposal Monday night. The viewers don't want it, he says.
This discussion came up last year, having to do with televising of council meetings in July and August. The response following a live telecast was less than overwhelming. Very, very few comments came back in, and I would opt not to have Resolution D 8248 passed by this council.
Newest council members Oskowski and Sporn think coverage of meetings in their entirety is worth another try and suggest requests for audience feedback be more heavily promoted. The 13 responses that were received last year were favorable. The first of the 4 meetings to be televised live will be held July 10th at the library. Mayor Sinagra appointed Herbert Kaplan presiding municipal court judge with the approval of the council Monday night. Kaplan is completing the term of Thomas Dominicki, who resigned for health reasons. Kaplan was formerly a municipal court judge in Carteret and Helmetta. In East Brunswick, he shares duties with Judge Terry Philip Green. The show will go on. The Children's Summer Theater program was rescued from temporary homelessness when the council agreed to rent facilities at Aldersgate Methodist Church on Riders Lane. The 28-year-old award-winning program, which has been for so long, for many children, the highlight of summer, was displaced by renovations to its regular home, the East Brunswick High School Auditorium. No other township schools were available or could accommodate the large productions and the sizable audience, so the council's appropriated more than $7,000 for the technical, custodial, and air conditioning expenses at Aldersgate. Hoping to defray some of the cost, Councilman Kirk spearheaded a campaign in recent weeks to raise money from local businesses. At Monday's meeting, Recreation, Parks and Community Services Director Judith Lebline announced that pledges and donations of more than $2,000 had already been received. Kirk presented an additional $200 that night. Curtains go up on the first production, Alice in Wonderland, Friday, June 30th at 11 a.m.
Hello, I'm Cynthia Schachter, and this is the East Brunswick Senior Citizen Center. We are celebrating 2 special occasions today. Our 5th year in the beautiful Senior Center right next door to the library, and our 14th year of operation as the Senior Citizens Program. As you can see, we have over 150 senior citizens here today. We're having lunch, we'll dance and have games and celebrate the fact that we are a strong and vital organization. This is a party, and it's a lot of fun, but it's not the only thing that we do. There are many programs here, some frivolous, some serious. We have fun, and we try to help each other. If you're interested in our work, please stop by. You're welcome at any time.
Take care.